decisions that dragons take are not for nothing. It is not an empty book. Whenever the dragon takes a decision, the dragon takes it because it's worth something. And that is the choice of being with you by your side. You might not even imagine how important that you are for the dragon. And the reason why I'm doing this, I'm not trying to convince anyone of the existence of dragons. I couldn't care less about humans to be convinced about the dragons. Everyone says that the dragon is not real, or maybe that they might even understand that the dragon is evil or something like this. I don't mind. They can think whatever they want for the dragon. I mean, that is how humans are. They immediately have an opinion. Except for the ones who do have a dragon by their side. And that is a complete different meaning. Whenever I am trying to search down for the ones who have a dragon by their side or have feelings for the dragon, because you might even say there is no dragon by my side, but I have feelings, I might say to you, the first kind of draconic witchcraft, whenever we are doing draconic witchcraft, it is not that we are knowing it. It happens unconsciously. Because you have this trigger, you had this trigger of the dragons, and so this causes a lot of manipulation, which means manipulation that is directed to the dragon's gate, the dragon realm. And so you are actually opening the gate for your dragon. And because your dragon is actually not really here, not really in flesh and blood like we are. The dragon is not really, it's like they send their energy to you. It's not that they are here in flesh and blood, of course not, because everyone could see the dragon, but you can sense the dragon. That is supposed to be this way. And that is what you actually are doing. The more that you are sending energy to the dragon, the more that they can be by your side. And if you don't send energy because of doubt, because of darkness, dark energies, then of course the dragon will be fade. I mean, they will be so lightly here, but yet you are still continuing the dragon's path because you feel a lot for them. And that is the entire point of being on the dragon's path. I love to talk about religions to other people because I want to debunk everything. And every time they expect me to say something about the dragon, because they always say that the dragon is something bad, that I shouldn't follow it. But I had this man, and he was actually waiting for me, and I said, "What? Well, don't you want to say anything about your dragon?" I say, "What should I say about the dragon? You are not on the dragon's path, that is clear. I cannot feel a dragon within you, I cannot feel a dragon without you. Every single word that you are saying is not of the dragons. So why should I convince you of the existence of the dragon, or maybe even of the good intentions of the dragon? Because it doesn't even make sense. You are belonging somewhere else. You are belonging in a gate that is far away from this gate and far away from the dragon's gate. So I shouldn't interfere in wherever you belong. But I have a good advice for you." That is what I said to him. "I have a good advice for you. Whatever you are following, this religious path, whenever you are following it, you might get lost. You might," and he was confusing why I'm getting lost. Because this universe has thousands and thousands of different kind of gates. Every single gate is another dimension, another world. And in just one of them, you are belonging into the spirit by your side. And that is also a good thing, actually, to experiment with and actually to train yourself into. Dragons, draconic energy, can sense energy that doesn't belong here. So they are very vulnerable and they are very sensitive for your dragons, but you can also be sensitive for the spirit that is by someone else's side. And that is very good to train yourself into. Because this is a draconic energy, and draconic energy, to be actually a dragon witch, is to actually also know what kind of a spirit is by the side of someone else. By a human, by an animal, or whatever. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense for convincing anyone for the dragon or the dragon's path. I only have to say, dragon. The dragon is real and by your side. If you are triggered by just simply that, simply this phrase, then it is actually, then you have indeed a dragon by your side. If you are triggered by that. And I try to thank you for the internet, by the way. I try to search and to find people who have this trigger, because I had a lot of I don't want to say experience, but I just want to say I seen a lot in 2005, 2006, and then on the Dragon's Path even further. I've seen a lot. My book of Dragon Shadows is filled with stories. It's filled with personal stories that everyone else would say it's folly, it's something idiotic, this is a fantasy tale. Well, actually, no, I experienced it. And with it, I know that there are other people in this world that also belong in that same gate. We are something like a spiritual family. And that is what I shouldn't convince anyone. I just have to say there is indeed a dragon. The dragon is real and by your side. Are you triggered by that? Then you don't need to say more. Then you have indeed a dragon by your side. And they don't need much more. You don't need much more than this. Of course you can use some advice from brothers or sisters, but you don't need anything more. In religions, they do everything. They force everyone. They force everyone into thinking the same thing. But that is just not natural. That is not natural to think the same thing and to believe in the same God, all of them, while there are thousands of gates. And they will all be misguided, because they all have a guide by their side, a very faint one, just like our dragons. But they are their guides. They need to show them the way where they belong, and they will all be lost. That is why I was actually warning the guy, if you are following this much longer, then you might be lost, because the spirit by your side, it is not that religion. The spirit by your side is trying to have your attention. Just like our dragons are trying to have our attention. And that is what I'm trying to do, to say your dragon requires your attention. And he is, or she is actually guiding you the way. They are so connected to you that they are traveling all over this place to be a spirit, to go out of their body, to be a spirit by your side, to guide you the way where they belong, the dragon's gate. So that is why I say it doesn't make any sense to convince anyone else, because the dragon chooses, not us. I'm just saying that is actually practically what I'm doing. Dragon, anyone, dragon. And that is, and some people put their hand up like, yes, of course. And that is actually what is truly a spirituality. That is like, yes, I'm triggered. Yes, I'm convinced. I don't need to say much more than that. And dragons, yes. And I'm sure of it. If all of these other people just have this trigger word that connects to their spirit and their world and their dimension and their gate and their gods even, then they will be triggered and they will drop everything from this religion. But this religion is so smart to say, if you don't, you go to hell. Yeah. You will go to hell if you don't find your way home. That is the entire point. You can be the bestest man. You can be the worst. You can be anything. But if you die and you lose your way, that is indeed staying in the darkness. Welcome to the void. So yeah, if this guy was actually waiting for me to have a response, I mean, saying, yeah, you should believe in dragons. No. You don't need to believe in dragons. Not at all. Believe in whatever you want and whatever you feel. But don't let yourself be misguided. Everyone in this world is raised with a mom and dad. And of course, what is the most easy way to corrupt someone is to start when they are children. A child is easily manipulated, so much so. And if they are raised up in some kind of a religion, then of course they will stay like this. They will even be convinced and that they are having this path of their God. And of course, all of that is the story of humanity. Take them when they're young. That is why I actually am against the fact that sometimes people that are on the dragon's path wants to raise their child on the dragon's path. But there is a very high chance that your child might not be on the dragon's path, and you might misguide them. So that forcing anyone from believing in a God or believing in some kind of a spiritual path is wrong. It's plain out wrong. You have your own individual path, and this is where you have to focus on. And that is why it's actually something that I really don't want people to do, is to convince anyone of a spiritual path or a God. That is so wrong of religion. That is so wrong of the right hand spirituality. That is why I'm so much more of a fan, you can say, of the left hand spirituality, where you do everything by yourself alone. Experiences, everything is about you and your spirit and your gods. It's your story that you are saying here. So I discourage the fact that you are convincing someone to believe in dragons, because it doesn't make any sense. Why should you even do this? It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help the dragon. It doesn't help you, because they might be misguided. If they don't have any feelings for the dragon, then let it be. It doesn't make sense to continue. If they want to joke about the dragon, then it might hurt sometimes if they want to joke about it. And sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm going to kill your dragon." I have to say, but I don't have to say, "Oh, man, please believe in the dragon. Face the dragon. I mean, pray for the dragon." No, that is not what I'm saying. Sometimes they can say hurtful stuff about the dragon. Then sometimes it's better just to just put your teeth on each other and just say, they don't belong there, so it's okay. Yeah, sometimes I have this. Sometimes you can have this. But they don't need to believe. They don't need to believe in the dragon. They don't need to believe in the dragon god, because they belong somewhere else. We belong in the Dragon's Gate. And that is the very same good reason why you are triggered by the dragon.